Hello and welcome again to another video to discuss Excel Chapter 2. And I'm going to use this assessment, the Inland Jewelry assessment, to explain again the VLOOKUP and the FBT revenue and the payment, three main functions in this chapter. Okay, so we start with inserting a function. So just go back and switch back and forth between. I just inserted the function is today. I'm trying to auto adjust just to show that. And if you again, if it's showing like this, means it's the cell side is need to be adjusted. Okay. That's for this step, and let me just switch back. Okay, the following, so determine, I already did these two steps, inserting the function and did the autofit to we will be using the VLOOKUP. The previous assignment we used the XLOOKUP. So it's the same concept. It's a search lookup you search for. And on this Excel sheet, I do have, that's my reference. I have a ring type and a cost. And I need to enter a VLOOKUP function to retrieve the cost from this table. Again, I'll start with typing the VLOOKUP function. Okay, so the VLOOKUP, V stands for, put it on the help. Vertical, so it's going to look for a vertical. So the lookup value here, it's the ring type, and we have that in cell B5. And now look for this ring in this table, and that's the range. Okay, and because I've been referencing to this range again, we lock the range using the $sign before and after the column. And the column index number, so I'm retrieving the cost based on the ring type. So this is the ring type and this is the cost. So, and that's the column index number is really you basically numbering these columns starting from the first one, second one. So this is going to be 1, 2, and because that's the column that you're retrieving or returning, which is column number 2, because I need to retrieve the cost. The type of match, meaning when I take this silver ring type and compare here, has to exactly match what I have in this list. So that's why I will use the false for an exact search match. Okay, again, B5, and look in this range, return the cost, and when you're searching, search for an exact match. Okay, and if you try to copy the formula before locking these cells, it's going to give you an error. Try that if you want, just so you can see how it works. But after you lock these, is because you're fixing it. So always the function always gonna use this range to look for the data that you're trying to search. Okay. That's step 3. Let me just log back to the instructions and see what else we need to do on this assignment. So there were a couple of formatting. So one is to change or to apply accounting on this by just select the range and apply accounting on this cell, and the previous step is to copy, which is I already copied. Okay, so it's going to do the next is to calculate the total. However, we do have a scenario in this case. So the scenario says if the person chose to personalize their ring, they have to pay a fee or a percentage for that, a surcharge. And this needs to be added to the cost and calculate the total. So, and that means if I'm checking on thing to determine, needs to use if, what is the logical test? It's logical if the person chose to personalize. And I have this information on my Excel sheet, right? So if the value in D5 equals yes for personalizing the ring, then add the cost to that. So the cost is going to be, the total is going to be the cost plus times, what's the percentage added here? The value in B1 is 5%. And now, if they chose not to personalize the ring, means that this value is a no, then the total equals just the cost without having to add another surcharge on the top. Let's see. Okay, so I think I have, okay, so is it G5? Not G5, it is C5 accidentally. Okay, I fixed mine because it should be. Again, I'm going to click on it again. So we compare the value in D5 to see if they chose to personalize it. If that's the case, add this value to the cost, which is $20 on top of the 400. It is the 5% surcharge. And now if they chose not to personalize, then we can just, the total is going to be equal to the cost. Now before I copy the formula again, because I'm referencing to this B21, I will lock the value here. So it's always going to be the value in B21 and copy my formula. So let's see, in a scenario where it's a no, so you can see the total equal cost in this scenario 2, this the same, so it's the same. Okay. Alright. I copied the formula and then I'm going to apply accounting format again. This range. Okay, and the following also we practice using the payment function. So there's a total here amount, and if you decide to pay this in monthly, you need to calculate this in monthly PMT. Okay, so the interest rate should be somewhere on your Excel sheet. It's the annual interest rate, and so it'll be 22. Guess what we need to do with this before we copy again? Block the value, because I'm gonna copy the formula, and because it's annual divided by 12 for a monthly, 1 year again for how long, and it's to multiply to rate the, because it's the number payment for a year, the year times 12 months, and that's my total amount. And pay this. And again, if I want to show the value in positive, I have to put the negative sign, and showing me this is the 35.57 for monthly payment for 1 year to pay off this, plus of course the interest. Because I locked the B here, I'm ready to copy the formula to the other cells to calculate the monthly payment for each loan here, based on, you know, the information that we have for each individual. Okay, so this also range should be in accounting. It's already in accounting. in here the following step is asking to calculate the total for the cost total on the monthly payment, and that's using use the auto sum function of this range. Okay. All right. Again, the sum of all the cost and the sum of all the total for all the loans and then the sum of the monthly payments. Just give me a summary here, values. So double check what's next. So in terms of calculations and formulas were done, sometimes we need to prepare the worksheet or the workbook that we are working on to print for printing. So when I click on the page layout, is asking to adjust the margin. You're not required to print, but just to show you how you can adjust the margin. So I'm going to click on custom margin, and it's asking to decrease the left and right to 0.3, and same for left and right. Okay, another thing, I'm just gonna click back on the page setup. Another thing is to print or fit on one page. The page fit one page. Okay, meaning if I print this worksheet, it's gonna print on one page. So that would be it. Again, on this cumulative assignment, actually we again practice the three main functions. In the previous, we worked on the XLOOKUP. On this assignment, we will work on the VLOOKUP. I'm going to be recording another video just to again do more exercises on the if and the VLOOKUP to prep you for the exam. And again, the VLOOKUP, it's a search, so you should have the lookup value, or you base your search on specific value, and in the range or in the table, and return, this is what is going to return the column, the value. So we don't specify the column name, we specify the number, column index number. Okay. Okay, it's the same. We use also the if. We build a logical test. Based on this logical test, we do have two outcomes. If the value or the outcome is true, then we apply this, and if the outcome is false, then we apply this scenario. And also we worked on the payment. Again, it's the same. As long as you put the right parameters or arguments, you should be able to get the calculation correctly. Okay, and we also use the sum built-in function here multiple times to calculate the total for range of values. Okay, so I saved it. So I'm just gonna go back and again remind you of that submission, and you just I saved it in my download. So always make sure you're uploading the right step, and that's the submit. Okay, now I can go back and look at my submission again. Always you have an option to submit multiple times, and you can view your submission and see if we maybe missed a step or two. So I have 99.6. Good. So I can show you, like in a situation like this, this is what you earn, and that should be the possible. And apply accounting number. So okay, so I did not apply accounting on these cells G5 to G11, and because of this, the system detected a few points here, fraction of 1 point.